Oh man, all right, looking very interesting. Let's see, we got the user manual for this bad boy, Mini Sailor user manual. This one got some good, cool features. So we'll go ahead and break them down each at a time there. We got a sort of silica gel for humidity. We have some additional tips. After using the scissors, please follow these steps to recover. Fold the one handle and then fold the whole thing. Okay, so we'll take a look at that for the scissors, and that is everything else in the box. So we're left with the Mini Sailor. And yeah, it is definitely not an understatement. They definitely had a matching name for it. I mean, if you look at it, it's about the same length as my index finger, if you would. It's going to give you the good zoom in so you guys can see it right in more detail. So we have sort of aluminum handles, black handles going on here with the NexTool logo, some speed holes, or nice holes there for character. We also have some milling lines for personality. Have a kind of a linear hole here, a linear ring if you want to kind of put in your keychain, something like that. That's also a thing. We're going to do some comparisons here to the E1 in just a moment, but it's actually looking shorter than that guy. And so let's see what we have in store. Let's go ahead. I like to kind of go in blindsided, obviously checking out a product for the first time, sort of tinker with it myself and kind of learn what it has to offer. So I see a nail nick here. I'm going to take this bad boy out, and bam, right off the bat, we have a very similar sheep's foot blade. Hollow ground on this bad boy, and I don't know the steel, so I'm going to go ahead and future me put it on the screen right there so we know what steel we're working with here. Right, obviously this is great for utility cuts and draw cuts with that tip right there. You can cut some Amazon packages, right, open some letters. Just having a good sharp tool on you. Probably not going to replace a dedicated knife. If you're already a knife guy, this isn't going to replace having a separate dedicated knife, but definitely in a pinch, this is definitely going to make some quick work of whatever you need to cut on the go. So we got that guy. We have some separators for this guy. Looks like we have some other tools. Well, actually, no. What's going on in the middle is probably related to the pliers. Okay, see, that's what's going on there. All right, let's switch over to this side. Okay, this one doesn't have a swappable Phillips or flathead. It's actually a dedicated one for each. So we have a dedicated flathead on this side, and there is your Phillips on this other side. So those are nice and accessible, right, with the nail nick from this side here. Kind of checking out the scissors, right? They have a little bit of a pull tab. So I'll go ahead and take them out. And it says here push. All right, so it tells me here push, bam. Here we go. And we got the scissors right there. So we can do some cutting with these. And this is what they mean, right? Once you're done with your scissors, you got to push this guy up like that. And then you fold the scissors like this. So that's how that works. Okay, so that's interesting. And I think we're missing maybe one more. We looked at this guy, another nail nick here. There we go. All right, we got this guy. So this guy is going to be your can opener, right? It's also going to work as a bottle opener. So this portion here in the front is your can opener. This back portion here is going to be your bottle opener. So that's pretty cool. And if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and check out the actual pliers. Here we go. Boom. Oh, these are snappy. Oh, man. What did they put on these? Is this magnets? Like, what? That is satisfying. It's kind of like you take a slip joint, right? Kind of like the same recoil you get from a slip joint, right? When you close it like that. Kind of getting those similar vibes here. All right, let's see. Wow. Okay, that sounds more satisfying than it really needs to be honest. So click and click. That is very snappy. And we got some pliers on the go, ladies and gentlemen, right? Are they going to be the most hardcore pliers out there? Probably not, but in a pinch, right, you need to torque something, right, tighten up something, grip something, whatever the case may be, right, you got some nice pair of pliers on the go. These are a little bit on the slim side. I think we're working with 0.14, right, so definitely on the slim side. And it makes sense because this is, after all, kind of like a keychain carry multi-tool. So the fact that you even have those to begin with, that is pretty awesome there. We got, of course, good grip and teeth on these. Let me get you a zoom in here so you guys can see it. Very nice jimping there in the front, more spread out here towards this area, right, for some bolts or nuts, if you would. And you do have a wire cutter right there, wire cutting functionality, right, on these regular pliers. Kind of have those needle nose aesthetics to them, right, needle nose style pliers there. And they come nice and lubricated here. I've wiped off a little bit of the oil in the pivot there so far. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on these, right out of the bat. I mean, these are looking pretty good. Let's do some size comparisons here. First, actually, I'll fold it here. I'll show you that folded What in the world? I still don't know what they put on these. I think it's the fact, okay, so I think I know what's going on here. These two bars right here are sort of working like a back spring. So that's what it is. Those two bars right there are kind of like a back spring. So explains why it is so satisfying on the close, why they also snap in place on the open. I can see actually, yeah, the bars are under tension, right? Very similar to any slip joint will be under tension like this when you open up the blade, right? You can see it right there. So that's what's happening here, and that is creating that very snappy and satisfying open and that very snappy and satisfying close. Man, that's pretty neat. That honestly, that's pretty cool. That takes the cake right there. We have to do our scientific cutting test. So let me get the blade out here, shall we? I got my piece of paper. Here we go. All right, textbook piece of paper. There we go. Keep in mind, you're not working with a ton of, you know, it's not like the longest cutting blade ever. But if you have to open a quick Amazon box, open a quick package on the go, right? This guy, even for piercing and cutting through material like that, definitely gonna do a good job there as well. So not necessarily a dedicated cardboard destroyer, although even though we absolutely will test it here with this piece of cardboard, you're probably gonna have a dedicated knife for actually cutting through cardboard in your garage or what have you on trash day, just to get them out of the house or what have you. But in a pinch, I mean, this could probably make a quick use of cardboard. So remember, when cutting cardboard, don't cut perpendicular but at an angle. It's gonna look something like this. Yeah, and that was actually easier than I expected. The only thing is, again, I tapered off because we're not working with that long of a cutting blade. Again, I mean, for the size of what it is, right? Hollow ground and steel right here on the screen, which I'm not entirely sure, so future me, slap it right there on the screen. Yeah, I mean, definitely cuts the cardboard. Am I gonna probably sit there and do, you know, a whole 30-40 minute cutting session with this guy? Probably not. If it was the only tool I had on me and, you know, I needed to make a quick cut, right, this is definitely going to come handy though, right? Just quick cut. You get your Amazon box, you need to just cut the tape, kind of open it. Believe it or not, there's people using scissors and keys and all that to open their packages these days. When, you know, something like this obviously comes very handy and will do the job so much easier. And if you're already a knife guy, obviously you're already carrying a dedicated knife anyway. So this would just be a nice little addition, an awesome companion. And oh my gosh, this, okay, listen, I need to move on with the video because I'm just gonna be caught doing this over and over and over and over and over again. Holy smokes, man, that's awesome. Well, there you guys have a quick overview and unboxing, raw first experience of the NexTool Mini Sailor. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one, either this one or this one. Peace.